guys, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kay Patterson. I'm a professional organizer as well as a professional singer, and I would love to welcome you back to my kitchen. So I uploaded a pantry organization video. Okay, so it was 9 months ago, and it's actually the third most viewed video on my channel. I'm not really sure why, but I asked you guys last week if you wanted to see an update. Was that last week? It might have been a couple days ago. Anyway, I asked you guys if you wanted to see an update on my pantry about how it was doing, whether or not the solutions I put in place were working for me or not. So this was the one that got the most votes. So pantry is first, and here it is. Before we get started, if you like organization, home stuff, and general fun and music and stuff like that, please subscribe. I post 3 times a week, and if you subscribe, you will feed a cavalier. Won't that be fun, and won't that make you feel so good? So go ahead and press that subscribe button, and if you want to get notified on every video, because YouTube's really bad about this right now, press the bell. It's next to the subscribe button. I'm gonna put a picture right there. You should press that bell to get notified of every video so you don't miss an upload. Now, just for context, I live in a condo in Boston. It's not big, it's small. This kitchen is actually a pretty good size for a 1-bedroom condo, but I don't have like a big tall pantry with, you know, big deep cabinets or anything like that. So we're putting all of our dry goods and stuff up in these cabinets. So I'll show you how I organize them. Okay, so here is the main deal. Let's go right here. Let's open up and see what's going on. Surprise! Hey, you know, not much has actually changed. It works pretty well, and I'll take you guys on a quick tour, and instead of like being very detailed about this, I will let you guys know what my pantry staples are. Okay, so since I am short and these cabinets are very, very, very tall, I put the stuff we use most often towards the bottom of the cabinet. So this is the stuff I reach for all the time, and this is the stuff that's either backup. See, I have that sea salt up there. That's just to refill something. And the stuff I need very seldomly up at the very, very top, because I need, ooh, let's focus. I need a step stool to get up there, and it's right by the cabinet, so I don't have to go far to get one. But let's start down here. I have my dry goods down here in these really cool slim containers. These are from the Container Store. I will link everything that I have talked about down below in the description for you. They will be affiliate links. Just full disclosure, they do support the channel, so thank you very much. If not, I always put the name of the product next to the description so that you can Google it if you don't feel comfortable clicking on affiliate links. But next to it is the canned goods that we have most of the time. I love things in cans. They're very convenient, even though they're probably not the best quality, but I love them. And here we have the little zone for, it seems to be kind of condiments and canned fishes. So, you know, we've got our like salmon, and I've got some mackerel there as well. And this is where the honey lives. We have a honey thing. We love honey. And the little packets that come with restaurant food, I just stuck them in here along with the Beano for some reason. That's just, this is how many we keep. This is how many I'm allowed to keep, because otherwise they can get too crazy. If they're stuffed in a drawer, I find that they get really out of hand very quickly. So if you guys are saving little packets, just limit yourself to something small like this, because I mean, frankly, you're not going to use all these things. You're just going to throw them out. So that's there, and then we've got the backup chicken broth right there, and this guy is for popcorn. This is not my deal. Uh-oh, I almost killed the cocoa nibs. Okay, so the popcorn daily is not mine. This is my husband's. He's like a popcorn enthusiast. So we've got a whole popcorn bin here. So we've got everything we need. We've got the little bags, because we make it, okay. He makes it in the microwave, so he just puts it in a little bag and pops it in there. And there's some fancy kernel popcorn, and then this is like little like baby tiny like small popcorn, and then there's regular popcorn here. You know, I don't know, Mr. Organized Soprano is the popcorn enthusiast. I have nothing to do with this, but I just consolidated it for him, and he seems to like it. So that's that space there, and there's the rest of my dry goods up there. We'll talk about those a little later. And here is the cereal area. I'm aware that this is not Raisin Bran, it's cornflakes, okay, but I haven't changed this label yet. I write on these with a chalk marker. That is where I keep most of the cereals. I do eat oats for like a few times a week. Those are the steel cut oats. Those are the best kinds of oats. And here we have a little basket for nuts. We probably should be keeping nuts in the freezer, but we don't have any room in our freezer right now. So this is going to be the workaround solution for that. And I'll take it down and show you what this container looks like. This is a little stackable basket from the Container Store. It actually, the handles go in like that and you can stack another one on top. We don't really have room for that, so right now it's unstacked, but we've got our nuts and little snacks in here because we're trying to eat healthy. So these are the kinds of snacks that are around. We're like a veggie snack, nut eating kind of family. I also have some snacks down here. We've got these pea snacks and some crackers and a little bit of rice cakes, and then my bananas basically live there. We're trying to be good because, you know, we just want to live forever. So we're gonna try and eat the healthy snacks. This is also the domain of my husband. I'm not really sure what's in there. I feel like it's protein bars and granola, but that's something I don't touch. So that's his little area, and this is and the other container, boom, is the one we're sharing. So up at the very top, you know what, I'm gonna get a step stool. Again, up at the very top is just things I have for backups. There's the backup of the olive oil because this doesn't fit in the olive oil area. Yes, we have an oil area. Backup almond milk. We have like a million mustards. I don't know, like, what happened? We have so many mustards. Anyway, we've got some backup rice and some barbecue sauce. This is where the salt and pepper lives and extra seasonings. And this is our pasta and pasta sauce area. Truth be told, we don't eat a lot of pasta in this household. So we probably eat maybe once every couple of months we'll have pasta. I don't even know if that's that often, but we're not a pasta eating family. But if we want pasta, it is here. We have some pesto as well, and some extra pasta sauce and macaroni and whatever, and spaghetti back there. So that's where that lives. And that's why that's really, really high up. We hardly ever have pasta. Even though I know there's people out there that have pasta all the time, we're just not a pasta eating family. We also have an additional cabinet next to this very large cabinet that has stuff in it as well. So the bottom has oils in it. As you can see, we've got the extra virgin olive oil, which the bottle didn't fit down here, so I decanted some of it. I wanted to get a bottle that was green like this, so I could, it doesn't need to be exposed to so much light. I think it gets rancid quicker, but since this cabinet is closed most of the time, I'm not really worried about it, but this is a workaround for now. But I've put all of the oils on this Lazy Susan and it works really well. I had to put it on top of at the top of a box. There's a little like, lid to one of those clear boxes there, just so it would spin, because otherwise it hits this lip and it doesn't work. So, but this has worked really well for us. Even though it doesn't fill up the cabinet and use all of the space, I can always find whatever I need. And we use a variety of cooking oils, as you can see. We have sesame seed oil, balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar, rice vinegar, the Pam, which I don't use very much, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil, and there's some cornstarch back there. So that is something that gets used a lot. The next shelf is for sugar and baking soda and vinegar, more vinegars. So I've got a plain vinegar here, apple cider vinegar there, and sugar here, and this is baking soda here. There's also some baking soda in the back in a box. Yes, I'm a nerd and I use the chemical symbols for when I can. But these are pop canisters from OXO. So they are really great because they open just like that, and they're pretty airtight. So they're very easy to use and they're easy to get into. So, and this is also from Interdesign. It's really, I think it's for wine bottles, but I use it for vinegar because that's how I roll right now. Up here is some baking stuff. So I don't bake that often. So this is why I only have like a little baking thing. But since I have all this stuff all together, I don't have to go and grab different things from different areas when I want to bake something. Again, I'll link everything down below if you guys want to find out exactly where some of this stuff comes from. But this is from Interdesign, and it's got a little handle on it. And I just put on a baking, you know, and it has everything you need for baking. Like it has muffin cups and vanilla extract, and I even have some chocolate chips here. Anything you need for baking is in there. So the few times a year I'm like making cookies, I know exactly, I'll just pull this whole thing out, and I won't need to go back and forth in the cabinet and get stuff, so because that's annoying, right? And finally at the very top is where the brown sugar and the flour and bread flour lives. These are they're the same, but I just wanted to give like a structural, like I think skeleton drawing for the bread flour, and like just a regular chemical symbol for the regular flour. Flour doesn't have a chemical symbol. This is just the chemical symbol for like starch. So I know what it is, even though it's not entirely accurate. I thought that would be cute on there. Again, with the OXO containers, I thought it'd be really cute. Okay, so now you've seen my pantry and what it looks like and how it's still working for me. I'll tell you a little bit about what my pantry staples are, things I need to have in my pantry all the time, and I'll definitely replace when they run out. So the first thing I always have to have on hand is rice. I love rice. Rice is like starchy goodness, and it goes with a lot of dishes. So I like to have a variety of different rices, but I can tell you the ones that I use almost all the time. The rice that I use the most of is actually short grain brown rice. No, not long grain brown rice, but actually short grain brown rice. So like the sushi rice variety of brown rice. I find that it is the most nutty in flavor and the most like chewy in texture. It does take a really long time to cook, however. It takes like 45 minutes, but if you soak it for a little while, it doesn't take as long, but I just prefer to just cook it from dry. I use this in a variety of dishes. It tastes really good. This is the healthiest rice probably you can choose because it does have the husk on it, which I think lessens the amount of sugar that you suddenly get in your digestive system and in your bloodstream. It's got a sort of slower sugar release kind of thing going on, but short grain brown rice we always go through, and I love it so much. I also always equally keep on hand some jasmine rice and some basmati rice. Basmati rice is that yummy, very fragrant, very delicious rice you get at Indian restaurants. It's got this like amazing sort of like almost perfumey kind of flavor. It's really, really good. And I also love jasmine rice. Jasmine rice has another one of those really beautiful aromatic rices that has a really beautiful flavor, goes really well with Thai food or any kind of Thai inspired dishes that you're gonna make. The other rice I'm never far away from having a lot of is arborio rice. This is a short grain white rice that's super starchy, and it is most commonly used to make risotto. Risotto is probably one of the more unhealthy things you can make in your kitchen, but is delicious. If you've never had risotto, go out, do yourself a favor, go to a nice restaurant, like a fancy restaurant, order some risotto, order some like seafood risotto or some beautiful like risotto primavera with like peas in it or something like that. That's actually my favorite way to make risotto, is to use like mushrooms or peas or both. It just makes this beautiful creamy, it's a really high starch rice. So risotto is one of those things that is very labor intensive. Like it takes 30 minutes to make a risotto, and you just have to sit there in front of your pot and just stir and add chicken stock and stir, and it's like really intense, but oh, it is so good. If you guys want to see risotto cooking on the channel, I am very happy to cook risotto for you because I've been making it for years, since I was like 22, and I'm obsessed, and you guys can make your own risotto at home. Another pantry staple that I always go through very quickly is quinoa. Now, I don't actually love quinoa, like especially like by itself. My husband really likes quinoa, like he is the quinoa king, but I don't particularly like it very much. It's got sort of a funny texture and like a real weird nutty flavor. However, if you do cook it with chicken stock or vegetable stock, it's 10 times better. So that's usually what happens when I make the quinoa. This is like the white quinoa. I know there's other varieties, but this is the kind we always buy. It's yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't really love quinoa, but I mean, my husband is like a big fan of it, and I like it if it's cooked right. Another super like unhealthy thing, but is delicious, is polenta. And polenta is something I like to use when I'm making things with rich sauces. So it makes for, it's like, if you've never had polenta, it's basically like fancy yellow cornmeal. So it's like fancy grits. It's really delicious if made again with chicken stock, and tastes really lovely with like a beef bourguignon or like a mushrooms, like with a dark, like kind of beefy. It goes really well with beefy flavors, or like, I don't know, like fall type flavors, like really, like a lot of umami flavors go really well with polenta. I find otherwise it tastes kind of bleh, but like if you put a lot of like meaty flavors into the polenta, oh, it's so good. One runner-up that is always in my pantry and is very delicious and not a lot of people cook with is farro. Farro is kind of like a barley kind of grain, but farro is awesome because you can cook it up like as a rice. It's not rice, but there's this really beautiful tomato farro that I like to make that is great for lunch. I will link the recipe down below. It's not my recipe. I think it's from Smitten Kitchen, but oh my gosh, so good. Farro is a great, like one of those ancient grains that actually goes well at the bottom of a salad. So if you're wanting to eat a salad but you want a little bit more substance to it, you just add some cooked farro and it makes it 10 times better. Actually, farro goes really well with avocado for some reason. I don't know why. I also like to keep a variety of canned beans in my pantry at all times. I do have some dried beans, but I mean, let's be real, at the end of the day, I don't want to like have to soak beans overnight. I mean, I just don't want to. I mean, I will, I do, but if I'm in a hurry, I need a canned bean. So the kind I like the most are black beans, because black beans are so versatile. You can make a black bean soup, you can do like a Mexican type Tex-Mex deal, you can do all kinds of things with black beans. Black beans go great for like breakfast if you're doing like a huevos rancheros or something like that. So black beans are a staple in my pantry. The beautiful garbanzo bean, it becomes hummus if mixed with tahini and some lemon and olive oil and salt and pepper and garlic and stuff like that. Oh, it's so good. So I always have 3 cans of garbanzo beans. They go great in everything. They go awesome in curries, and they make chilies and soups a little more hearty. So this is a great sort of like meaty kind of bean. The last type of beans I can never be out of at all is cannellini beans. Cannellini beans are the hero. Like, they are the hero. There's a couple of dishes that I make that have cannellini beans, and there's something about this, they taste so good. Cannellini beans are even better when they're like mashed up with some Parmesan cheese in it, with some like chicken stock in it, some garlic. Oh, it's better than mashed potatoes. I'm telling you right now, it's better than mashed potatoes. So instead of like having mashed potatoes, maybe have a little mashed cannellini. You will not regret it. I always have to have crushed or diced tomatoes, at least a can. This is a giant can, so I think I need to make a soup or something like that. But this is my favorite brand. I forget what it's called. I think they're like San Marzano or San Marzino. I'll put it in the description, and I'll put it on the screen somewhere because I cannot find it on the can. But this is my favorite brand of diced and crushed tomatoes. They're the best. And I also like to have just a can of tomato sauce. Just plain tomato sauce. No big deal, just a little can of tomato sauce. I usually like to have 2 in stock, but if I don't, I panic a little bit. And the other thing I like to have is tomato paste. This is the Amore tomato paste, and it is just really beautiful tomato paste. When I open this, I put it in the refrigerator, and it keeps really well in there. And if I need a little tomato paste, I just grab it from the fridge and add it to whatever like soup or sauce I'm making. I also always like to have a can of coconut milk. You never know where you're gonna need it. It goes great in curries and in like Thai style dishes. So coconut milk, yes ma'am. So those are the top dry goods I have to have in my pantry all the time. If I run out of something, I definitely do panic and I have to go to the store right away. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and share it with someone who you think might get a kick out of it or just might be helped by it. Maybe there's someone who's moving into a new apartment and they need to know what to buy at the grocery store just to get started. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this pantry update, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay neat. Bonus Clover Cam. He's very sleepy because he's been at daycare all morning while I was working. So right now he's very much like, leave me alone. But I thought you guys would want to see him because he's very cute. Okay, go to sleep. Good night.
was feeling